All right, guys, joining me at this time is a guest who I've been looking forward to talk to for a while now. BKFC's own, the bastard of bare knuckle, Mr. Malo, Brandon Lambert. How you doing today, Brandon?
I'm doing excellent, man. How you doing, boss?
I'm doing very well. Let's jump right into things, man. You're training, getting right back in there. You have thrown down a $10,000 challenge to the
Yeah.
brittle Brit, Mr. Tyler Goodjohn. Tell me how this whole thing come about.
Well, so it's been a few months ago. I was here in Puerto Rico training with Elvin Brito, and I heard that Tyler was coming into the States, and I was flying back to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in the airport in Puerto Rico early in the morning, and I seen that he was posting, he was active. So I sent him a message. He's like, "Hey, where are you going to be training at in the States?" He said, "Southern Florida." So I was like, "Well, fuck, I'm in Florida. Let me know when you get down here, and maybe we'll kick it." My thought process was, he's probably going to end up fighting Elvin at some point. I'll train with him a little bit, and I can be able to tell Elvin, what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had forgotten that the day before I hit Tyler up, his manager had posted a post with Tyler. And like pure boxers have this I want to call it a bad habit of ducking and putting their chin forward when they're trying to dance and move out of the way, doing their head movement. And it's just primed for uppercuts. So, but nobody's really been hitting Tyler with uppercuts. So I just made a comment saying, I hope he didn't come out here just to get knocked out. And because, I'd watched his fight with Sean George, and I thought he lost that fight.
Yeah.
But, so, I was just like poking fun, whatever. I didn't think anything of it. And then he seen it after I hit him up. So then he posted all of our messages and then tagged me and said, I'm going to fight you. Well, I wasn't signed yet. I was trying to get signed. I was in talks with fighting for Toe the Line.
Okay.
And so and it was supposed to be in
they're kind
Biloxi.
of like a feeder system for the BKFC.
Yeah, I was supposed to, that's why I was in Puerto Rico. I was supposed to fight in October, then it was November, and then it was December 11th in Biloxi. So I was leaving just a little bit because I was getting ready for that. So I was going to go back home, get everything in order, and then, fight. But then, when he called me out, I kind of seen that as an opportunity. So I ran with it. And he blocked, he didn't block me right away. We chatted back and forth and, whatever. And he was kind of entertaining it, but not. And then he came to Miami I think it was BKFC 14, if I'm not mistaken.
The Palomino one?
Yeah, Palomino and Allers.
Yeah.
Yeah, where his bitch ass jumped up on the ring and shit.
Yeah. Total disrespectful.
Well, yeah. So he'd never seen me in person. And Tyler is a small man. Like, he's small. Either he's small or I'm big. But anyway, I dwarf him. Like, I fucking dwarf him. And 2 hours after I met him at the event, I was blocked. So I just kept doing the trolling thing, man. And I can't remember how the 10,000 thing came about. I think I was just like, what can I do to get this fucking idiot to fight me? Maybe
Right.
I don't know how it happened. Yeah, so I happened to have 10 grand in my closet one day, and I made a video, threw it down, and made the 10K challenge. And then, like, it went not really viral, but it went out and it was viral in the community.
Yeah.
And the matchmaker, Nate Shook, hit me up, and he goes, "Hey, man, we need to talk about this 10K challenge. People are starting to think you're serious." I was like, "I'm fucking dead serious.
There ain't nothing to be serious. If you're in this game, you're serious."
Yeah, I was like, "I'm dead serious. Like, I want to fight this dude. I can beat him." And so for like 4 or 5 months, I campaigned for a fight at 165 or 155. And Tyler would just never unblock me. He would never respond. He would never engage. But then he would make posts about me, bitching about it. So I don't know really what happened, but then I think it was like December 28th, I got a call from Nate Shook asking me if I can make 135 by February 5th. And I was like, fuck yeah, I can.
Hold on. You were trying to get a fight with Tyler Goodjohn at 160 pounds. They asked you to fight 25 pounds lower at 135 pounds?
Yep. And I took it immediately. Yeah, so I took it immediately. and I thought I was about 155 at the time because I had just came back from England, and when I travel, I don't really eat very much. I guess I was mistaken because when I got home, I weighed myself. I was 174 pounds, and
All
I
those
had
English breakfast.
yeah, dude, the English breakfast. I miss the English breakfast so much. I never thought I'd love beans for breakfast, but it's so good.
Right.
So, so instead of calling Nate back and be like, "Hey, man, I don't think I can do this," because I'm 37 years old. I haven't fought in 15 fucking years, 14 years, something like that. So, and I never really cut weight. Definitely didn't cut that much weight. Um, but I wanted this opportunity. I was like, well, this is my way in. I'm not going to back out. So I told him I would take it. I lied about my weight to them. They kept asking me about my weight. I was like, oh no, I'm good. I'm good. I'll make weight. I'm good. I'm
That's
good.
fucking great.
Yeah, I was fucking heavy as shit, dude. And
I don't.
I ended up.
That's gotta be like the worst question to ask a fighter because which fighter is gonna honestly be like, hell yeah, I'm heavy, bro.
Yeah,
No
I don't think I'm
one.
gonna make it. Yeah, well, what's crazy is nobody thought I was gonna make the weight anyway. Like nobody thought
They didn't
my own
expect you to
coach.
even show up.
Yeah, my own coaches didn't even think I was gonna make weight. So, and I
Had
had a
you
big hick.
ever competed at 135 pounds?
Fuck no, I had been 135 since fucking high school. Well, no,
Damn.
I'm lying to you. I'm lying to you. I went through a big bad battle. So I suffer from clinical depression. I
Hmm.
get super depressed. And I went through a bad depression when my wife kicked me out of my house and left me and took my kids and all that. So I was down to like 126 pounds on the verge of death.
But that's an unhealthy Brandon Lambert.
Exactly. I mean, I looked like fucking death. So I was that skinny. And then when I came to Florida, King Mo kind of helped me, get over
King Mo Wall.
yeah, he helped me get over my depression. And then I started taking shrooms, magic mushrooms. Highly recommend those
How
for
has
people that are.
that worked?
It's the most amazing thing I've ever done in my entire life, and I
They
recommend
talk
anybody
about
to
that a
do it.
lot. And it's
Yeah,
really well for depression.
bro, it's changed my life. It's changed my life. Um,
When did you
those
start experimenting with mushrooms? For medical
so
purposes, that
yeah,
is.
so I don't want to say experimenting. I've started dosing myself and medicating myself about a year ago. So that's how this whole BKFC thing even started. Um,
Hmm.
so I don't know if you watched the fight or not.
I
But when I
did.
walk, okay, when I walked in the ring and the lights turned red and I just kind of opened up my arms and walked around the ring, that wasn't planned. I was planning on sealing the ring off like I did in Muay Thai fights, sealing the ring off, getting all the bad energy out. But I visualized that whole walk, getting the Vaseline on my face, walking through those ropes, spreading my arms out, and getting the energy from the crowd. I'd been there before in my trip, so it just felt natural to do that. Um, Mushrooms will actually help reset. Like the way that I can explain it is, it helps you work out all your inner
Yeah.
demons without even working them out.
Takes a lot of bad toxins out of you as well. So I'm Native American.
Yes,
In our culture,
me too.
we believe in psychedelics so much, and it feels like even like doing peyote and sweats. It's truly life changing stuff.
Well, here's what I suggest for people that are going to do magic mushrooms: is you don't want to do them inside of an enclosed space. You don't want to do them with your friends and watch TV or be in a
Yeah,
house.
I'm
Go
gonna be
be
in
in
the
nature.
forest.
I always go to the beach. So I feel like I control the ocean when I'm on shrooms. I'll stand about thigh high in the ocean, and then I'll just trip for like 2 hours.
Hell yeah.
But I microdose throughout the day, so I'll take zero point 0.3 grams like every 20 to 30 minutes all day long. So I end up eating like 8 or 9 grams throughout the day. So it's a pretty heavy dose, but I have a high tolerance, and I do that 4 times in a month, every Saturday, all day long, every Saturday. I do that for one single month, and then I take 3 months off. And normally about the third or fourth month, I start getting depressed again, and I start to cycle all back over again. But
And
I highly
how have you
recommend it.
feel like it's helped you, especially when it comes to training and everything like that? Because obviously now you're able to, function like an everyday adult.
Yeah, I mean, depression is debilitating. So
Yeah. I've
if
seen it with my
anybody,
own eyes.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody has a friend that you think is just a lazy piece of shit and don't want to do anything with themselves, it's probably not because they're lazy. They're probably fucking depressed. And men really very rarely talk about this because people are just, well, you got to be a fucking man, you know? So, yeah, what it's done is it actually made me realize that my potential. You know, with me not being able to see my kids and you know, my children, I hate when people call people their children kids. You know, oh, this is my kid. It's your daughter or your son. So when my children were taken from me, I just felt like inadequate, less of a man. Like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't function without them. And through shrooms, I realized that I have to function for them. So that's why I've set on the path that I've set on. Like I aim to be something special. And I'm going to be something special for those children.
Your kids, what are their names? How old are they?
So I have my oldest daughter is Aspen Gracie. My middle daughter is Indiana Scarlett, and then my son is Leonidas Cruz. Aspen will be, I believe she'll be 8, and then Indiana will be 6, and then Leonidas just turned 4.
So they're still young and still growing up in their lives.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now, obviously, it's a tough situation to go through. Obviously, you have everything going on with your ex and dealing with the whole custody situation.
She's not even my ex right now. That's what's crazy. We're still married.
So you guys are still technically married.
Yeah.
How do you balance all of that with a bare knuckle fighting career?
To be 100% honest with you, I've kind of just given up that aspect of it. I get nowhere in court. So
that's the unfortunate part about being a guy in this society.
Yeah, I mean, I've went through $100,000, 3 attorneys, and we haven't been to court yet. Every time we go to court, it gets continued, but she gets motions granted and all this other shit. So, I mean, she sold my house and kept the money. She sold everything we ever owned together, kept the money. Moved out of state, won't let me talk to my children. Has me on $3,000 a month child support. Trying to get my license suspended. All kinds of shit.
$3,000 is ridiculous. How does the California court system expect you to live off of that much money?
They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck.
Now let's talk about the flip side. I have a California custody case and my son's mom is on child support. She sends me $75 a month.
Because she's a woman. You're lucky you're getting that.
Bullshit. Yeah, at the point of that, I'm just happy I got my son.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is like I don't even want to get custody. I want joint custody because children need both parents.
For sure, 100%.
You know what I mean? And that's all I'm trying to do is just I figure I'll make something of myself. I can hopefully, you know, start a foundation that can help try to reform family law because I'm not the only person going through this.
No.
I mean, you got UFC fighters like, you know, Chris Gutierrez. He's a fucking awesome ass dude. He's a fucking awesome guy. And he has to have supervised visitations with his son.
Yeah, you know, his last opponent, Andre Ewell, same thing.
Yeah, well, Andre Ewell's a piece of shit. He doesn't deserve his son. He's a fucking piece of shit. He doesn't have his son because he's a piece of shit. And then he went off and got another girl pregnant that don't even take care of her other son. He's a fucking piece of shit. He can kiss my ass. See, Andre trained at the gym that I owned where my wife started fucking one of the students. He was training with that dude, him and that piece of shit tarantula, Jalen Turner. So they're calling me their brother. They love me. I paid for Jalen's marriage counseling when he was going to leave his pregnant girlfriend. I paid for counseling for them, so you know he didn't leave her. I paid for Andre Ewell's knee surgery, so you know he could compete and be 100%. So I've done all these things for these people, and then they knew that my wife was sleeping with a student of mine, and never told me once. So fuck both of those motherfuckers. I hope they get cut. Andre should be getting cut from the UFC. Andre Ewell, if you're watching this and you get cut, you come to bare knuckle. I'll be your first opponent. I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass. And same thing with Jalen Turner. Once he gets cut, bring your bitch ass on over. I'll thump you too. But
there we have it.
Yeah. So sorry, I'm a little. Yeah, I get worked up about those two bitches.
No, sorry about that. I didn't mean to sugarcoat. I didn't know.
No, you're good. But you know, like it pisses me off when fathers want to be fathers to their children, and just because they don't want to be or can't be with the mother just wants to take the kids away, and that's not right. Spiteful mothers make deadbeat fathers.
100%. And that's the shitty part too. And then once so much time is fractured, like then the kid's mad at the dad for the strangers. Like I always tell my mom, my son, I'm like, listen, like you and your mom might reconnect later. Just give her a chance. Don't be mad at her. Like she's going through some shit right now in her life. She fucked up, yeah, but I mean, I'm sure eventually you guys can work some shit out.
Well, see, I think that my wife and her boyfriend are telling the kids that I left because I had Skype calls being able to, because she filed a bogus restraining order on me while I was out of state because she thought that I knew about the affair that she was having. She thought I was coming home to hurt her and the guy. I didn't give a fuck because I wanted a divorce anyway.
Yeah.
But so she got a restraining order, got me kicked
She
out of
just
my
sped up the
house.
process.
Bro, it's, oh my God. And yeah, so it's been hellacious, bro. It's been bad. But to answer your question, how I separate it is I'm focused on my career right now. I plan on being a bare knuckle fighting championship world champion, and I plan on having that platform and using the money to help Dustin Poirier's Good Fight Foundation, and also using the money to
Great foundation.
I want to create another foundation for family law reform. I mean, there's so many of my friends that are going through the same shit that I'm going through, and you know, some people, like a lot of guys, kill themselves over this stuff.
Oh,
And
100%.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not, you know, I'm one of those guys that contemplated it many times.
I've been there.
You know what I mean? So maybe this is like, I don't know, like this could be a form of punishment for myself. Because like I didn't have face tattoos until about 2 years ago. So I got this. It's a broken heart. I got it to remind myself that I've failed my children and to never do it again. So whenever I get to reconnect with them, it's a broken heart. I'll have it filled in and it'll be a full heart. And then I got my nickname over my eye, going through depression. So, you know, if you see people with tattoos on their face, there's probably something wrong with them mentally.
There's probably a little story along going to it.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, 135 craziness. You had a tough time with that weight cut, correct?
Yeah. I mean, I
You were even
did.
hospitalized afterwards.
Well, yeah. Yes, but that was after the rehydration. So
Mhm.
I'm still pretty swollen now from flying. I don't know if you can see how swollen my ankles are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what that is from is, you know, I had no salt for a long time, and then entering that shit back into my body. That helps me retain water, and then my kidneys were not functioning to the 100%. I mean, I'm 37 years old. You drop 40 fucking pounds in a month. That's a drastic weight
That's a
difference,
huge weight cut.
and it shocks your body. And me never cutting weight before, I didn't realize how bad it
Yeah, you
affects
were
you.
never even used to it.
Yeah. So I don't remember the second or third round of the fight at all. I remember the first round, but like people were saying that I was, you know, I didn't look like I was gassed until the third, but I was fucking dead coming into that second round.
See, I'm surprised you made it down the ramp. That's a lot of weight. 40 pounds?
Yeah. And like I would have, people are, you know, shit talkers. Oh, you didn't even make weight. I made 137.4. Um, and I weighed in twice. So I didn't just weigh in at 137.4 and be like, ah, fuck it, I didn't make it. I went back to cut again. So I went to Paige Van Zant and Austin Vanderford. They let me in their hotel room because they were right beside the venue,
Mm-hmm.
and they allowed me to use her sauna to cut the extra weight off. And I was in the sauna for 45 minutes, and I came out bone dry, and my body would not sweat anymore. So that's why I ended up not making weight.
It was your
But
body rejecting the cut.
yeah, and then my rehydration didn't really go the way it needed to go, and it was a mental fuck too because you know
I can
I'm
only
on a big
imagine.
I'm on a big fucking stage here. You know, this isn't
Yeah,
some
Knucklemania.
I'm making my pro debut, so I'm in a fucking stadium. I've never been in a stadium like that before, and you know I'm on pay-per-view. I'm the first fight of the night, And I get up on that stage to take the walk up, and they're like, okay, you're getting ready to go. And then they pull me off the stage and throw me into the back for another 20 fucking minutes. So I'm already warmed
Fucks
up,
with
ready
you.
to,
Yeah.
yeah. So, you know, there was a lot, but like, I thought when I got into the ring, I would be like, all right, I'm here, I'm ready to rock and roll. But the only thing I could think of is, are my kids watching? Like, I hope my children can see me. And that's the only thing I could think of until we got to toe the line and the referee looked at me and he said, are you ready? And then that's when I knew I was going to be in a fucking fight. And in a fight I was.
What are we doing to get you at the right weight class this time?
I'm definitely not cutting down to 135 again.
No, 135 is crazy. 45,
nah,
even I even feel like that's even pushing it. 55,
I mean,
I feel like is where it's at.
55, I'll be a monster. 45, I'll be a Goliath. So
No, for sure.
I made 45 relatively easy while I was out of shape. So me being in shape, I think I can make 45 really, really easy. Because it's not cutting, you know, the 25 or 30 pounds. It's the last five or six of the last 35. So I think I'm more prepared mentally and physically now for the cut. So I really want to try 45. I would love to fight Tyler Goodjohn at 145. I think I would put him in a hospital at 145. If we fought at 155, I still think I would stop him within 3 rounds. I just truly believe that Tyler Goodjohn was.
What did he fight Charles at?
145.
Okay, so that makes sense.
I think it was 145. Well, because do you know why Tyler got banned from boxing in the UK?
No.
Okay, because he was on a podcast talking about extreme weight cutting. So he would do what I did every fucking fight. He would cut to some astronomical weight so he could beat up little people.
Mm-hmm.
And the boxing commission in the UK was like, nope, no more of that. And they banned him. That's why he went into bare knuckle. And the only fucking reason he came to America is because he burnt bridges in every fucking bare knuckle organization.
Which so him seems and Mark, like he's starting to do now almost.
100%. So him and Mark were supposed to start running Spartan fights.
I remember
Spartan
that.
bare knuckle. So they were supposed to run that down there. And I don't know what happened with that, but I was talking with Spartan, trying to talk with Spartan about fighting Tyler in the hay bales. I was going to go over to England and fight him.
So go all the way out there. That'd have been nice, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was out there. I was out there in December. I went out there to meet up with him for Christmas. I thought he was coming home for Christmas, so I went to England, and he wasn't there. He stayed in Vegas. So, yeah, I want this Tyler Goodjohn fight bad. I just believe it's a fight that it's destined to be made. Something inside of me says that we're destined to get in that ring and toe that line together. I just think it'd be a masterful performance because I need somebody that will bring excitement to me, somebody that I want to train for, and I want to train for Tyler Goodjohn. I want to beat Tyler Goodjohn's ass on pay-per-view.
What brought you out to Puerto Rico?
Elvin Brito.
Yeah, a fucking great idea, man. Obviously, like a lot of people don't understand too, like especially leaving where you're comfortable at and going somewhere else is such a mental evaluation as well.
Yeah, I mean, what's tough about here, bro, is like we do mountain runs. So if you tune in on my Facebook tomorrow, you'll see me. I'll go live. I'll go live every time we run up the mountain. And these are big boy mountains. This isn't like flat land and then up and flat. No, this is all the way up. And so we run about 3.5 miles up and then back down. And we do that at like 6:30 in the morning. And then we take the rest of the day to kind of relax and recover. And then we go do circuits, bag work, and spar in the evening. And if you know anything about island fighters, so Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, these motherfuckers can box.
Yeah.
And everybody can box. Like when I was out here last time, I was getting the shit beat out of me by 13 and 14-year-olds. These dudes should be pros. So I didn't spar at all for the Jared Grant fight. I had 0 sparring and it showed. So Elvin's fighting in Biloxi for BKFC 16. on March 19th. So I came out here to help him with his camp and to get some sparring in over here with these boys out here.
And how's that gone along so far?
Well, I just got here today.
Oh, so you just landed, man.
Yeah.
And you already went on a run?
Yeah. Fuck yeah,
Look
bro.
at you, bro. Brandon Lambert not missing no time.
Nah, because like I got kind of excited because Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship shared my my call out.
$10,000. Tyler, good job.
So, and I didn't think they were going to do that. So for them to do that made me pretty excited.
Malo said, if you can't count, that's 10 G's, you dumbass.
If your dumb British ass can't count. But so I don't. If the fans say they want to see it, then I think they would make that fight for the fans.
I definitely think it's intriguing enough.
Yeah, I think it is too.
At this point, for sure. And he needs something. He needs something to give him a little bit of boost because he lost a lot of respect with what his little fiasco that he did.
He lost a lot of respect because of his performance for one, and then his fiasco afterwards.
How you act.
I'm the only fight that makes sense because let's be real. He hasn't been training in the UK because they've been in lockdown. We know he wasn't training in Vegas because he was in tranny clubs.
Yeah.
So he hasn't been training. So if he goes in there with, let's say, a Jim Allers, or he goes in there against, say they give him a title shot for whatever reason against Luis, they are going to fucking retire him.
Luis will kill him.
Literally. They're going to retire him. So if they want to keep him around and they want to keep him relevant, he needs to come in with a very hyped fight against an opponent that he can possibly beat. Everybody's going to tune in to watch Tyler Goodjohn knock me out.
Yeah.
But what if he doesn't? What if the tables turn and I put him on his ass?
It's Malo time.
Yes. So, I mean, realistically, this is the only fight that makes sense for Goodjohn because if you put him in there with top tier talent, like he thinks he is, exactly, they're going to fuck him up.
And I'm not trying to be a dick about the British. Obviously, there's a couple of them out there that have done very well, Michael Bisping, guys like that. But there's like two of them compared to the hundreds of American athletes. I'm just pointing out the facts. I'm not trying to be a dick here.
Even the people around, like you have one of the highest, or not the highest, but one of the most well-known fighters, Sean George.
Mm-hmm.
He's not English.
No.
He's Welsh. So I just don't like the British fighters, man. They don't have any talent.
They're very one-dimensional.
Yeah. And like Mark Godbeer, who the fuck has he fought? When he came to the UFC and got his ass handed to him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's knocking out like what, Jack May? Jack May just got knocked out by some jack off in another MMA event. Like he's good, but he's been going downhill for the last few years. No disrespect to Jack, because Jack can beat the shit out of me. But these guys, him and Tyler, or Mark and Tyler, are coming over here demanding hundreds of thousands of dollars to fight, and they're out of their fucking minds. They're out of their fucking minds.
Would destroy Mark Godbeer as well.
Joey Beltran's going to destroy pretty much every heavyweight that's on the roster right now. Joey Beltran
100%.
and it's not because he's better than everybody else or because he's tougher than everybody else. He just has a style that's built for this sport.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
look at Khabib Nurmagomedov. You know what I mean? What he's able to do with just a style.
Exactly. Styles are what wins fights. And, you could be the shittiest fighter on the planet. And if you have a style that's more dominant, you're running a better chance of winning.
100%.
I'm not technical at all. I'm very awkward when I strike. You've seen that. And Tyler likes to dance. Tyler doesn't fight. So Tyler doesn't swing on you unless he's right in your face. He doesn't know how to close the distance.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know how to roll with the punches. He just kind of he's a fucking dancer. He should be a break dancer. So I have a feeling that me and him go into the center of that ring. He's not going to dance around. He's going to try to, move his hips around. He's not going to dance around with his feet. And he's going to be right in my prime range of hitting him. And I'm going to hit him with an uppercut that takes his fucking head off his shoulders.
That's what I like to hear. Listen, I don't want to take too much more of your time. I know how busy you are. Plus, you have a busy morning. Before I let you go, though, I want to give you a situation to give a shout out to your teammates, sponsors, loved ones, anyone that's really helped you along your MMA journey.
Yeah, so I want to shout out to King Mo for helping me get started with everything. I want to shout out Brock Weaver for cornering me in the last fight. I want to shout out David Feldman and Nate Schiff for taking a chance on me with BKFC. Big shout out to Coach Caesar and to Elvin Brito down here in Puerto Rico for allowing me to come back out and be part of the camp. Shout out to Jared Grant, my last opponent, and his camp, Slaughterhouse Boxing, Coach Ryan Perez. They invited me to come out and train with them as well. I'm going to be doing that when I get back to Florida.
Nice.
And just shout out to my management team, Goat Combat Agency, and my nutritionist, Jackie Kamansky. She's badass. The Fight Nutritionist on IG. And, everybody that's tuning in, whether you're hating on me or loving on me, I'm in the conversation. It doesn't matter what's being said as long as you're in the conversation.
100%.
And right now, I am in the fucking conversation. So
no press and bad press.
Nope, I couldn't be happier right now. I'm doing exactly what I wanted to do.
You have one more opportunity to say whatever you would like to Mr. David Feldman and Mr. Tyler Goodjohn. Make your case. $10,000, man.
Yeah, Dave, I'm not going to repeat the performance that I did on February 5th. You get me at a healthy weight. You give me a good training camp. You get me Tyler Goodjohn. And I'll give you one of the biggest, highest grossing pay-per-views you've ever had in your entire life. I'll put BKFC on the map with Tyler on there. And then at the end of the night, I'm going to have to wipe him off. He's going to have to go back to the UK. Mark Godbeer, he can handle his own business if he can stay in BKFC or not. But I'm sending Tyler Goodjohn packing.
There you guys have it, Mr. Brandon Malo Lambert. Thank you again for joining us, man, and I can't wait to have you on right before you fight, Mr. Tyler Goodjohn.
Yeah, I mean, you let me know, man. This has been awesome. I really appreciate your time, and anytime you need a guest, man, I'm your man.
Excellent, brother. I appreciate that, and we will have you on again for sure soon.
Awesome, man. You have a good night.
All right, you too.